Today we're going to talk about creating a pop-up screen. Notice here I have what will be a phone app, very basic phone app. Let's go ahead and run this. And you can search for things, there's only one. But let's say you want to add something new. You just click on the button there and then you can add this. Notice that the ad takes up, because we're using a phone, this takes up the entire screen. It's called a pop-up. And then when we get done, we just click on this button and say add new, and it automatically adds the record into SharePoint. Or we can cancel out and go back to a list of all of our records in SharePoint. Notice also that this plus sign gets hidden. It's sitting right over here, but we hide it based on the visibility properties of this pop-up. So in today's video, we're going to talk all about that pop-up and how to create it inside of your environment. And we're going to do that all as part of this book here called Capturing Meeting Notes into SharePoint using PowerApps. You can download a copy of this book for, I think it's $2.99 at Gumroad. It's a PDF file that you can download, or you can purchase a hard copy of the book. It's a little more at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. But search for this right here. If you just do a Google search for this key phrase right here, SBS, and this number, you'll find the information. Now, in this book, let's update the table, make sure we have all the recent in there. You'll see that there's multiple topics that we're talking about, and this pop-up is just the next one right here. If you pause the video now, you're going to see that you can go to search for this item on the internet right there, Lush, and that number there. And you can find the other videos that have already been created. How to create a list, how to create a new PowerApp application, how to add new records into SharePoint. Those are all available in these videos, and they're all part of this book. But for today, we're going to jump right into this section of the book called Add a New Pop-Up Screen. With the book, you'll get more details, as well as when we get to the code section, all the code is in the book too that you can just copy and paste. So anyways, here we go. Let's get started. So here what we're going to do is we're going to group a bunch of these variables, or these fields right here. Notice that we don't have them grouped now, but let's go ahead and go back into that where the add screen is. So we have to be on the actual screen that we're working. And notice here, if we click here, right there, there's the title. That's not it. There's the cancel button. What else do we have? Add new. Okay. So all four of those right there are part of this pop-up, right? This screen that we want to pop up. That's what we need to group together. And we group them together. We can do it individually. For example, I can go into each one of these and say visible, and then I can say what it's supposed to be visible to. But I need to do that as a group so they all open and close at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and group this. Now I'm going to name the group. I'm going to name it GRP, and I'm going to say pop add new. Okay, and that's it. And then I'm going to set the visible properties for this. I'm going to set it to the pop new record. Remember, in a previous video that we did, in a previous chapter, we set up this variable. But just so you know, right here, the variable we set up is right here in the OnStart on the app. And when we click on different values, we change the condition of that variable. See, here we change it to false. And when we go ahead and look at this part of the app, notice that when we do an on select here, whoops, we're going to set it to true. So we flip that variable. But here what we're doing with the gallery, with this group, is we're setting it to be that visibility aligns to whatever that variable is currently, whether it's true or whether it's false. So that's a really important concept to understand. So That's group. We set the visibility. Here we go right here. I talk about what I just talked about here, but here's your visibility. One, group it, visible, right? We got that. Now we need to add the plus screen, right? So we're going to add an add button and we're going to set the code up here. And so here's the code. You can see it right here. We're going to set the variable to true. That's that plus sign. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what that looks like. That's right there. That's a plus sign. Here it is right here, this button. Notice it's not inside the group. It shouldn't be. And we're going to set it to this variable right here, on select to that variable. Okay, so that's pretty easy right there. And then there's the code for that. And then when the pop-up appears, we want this plus symbol to disappear. This is just, it's not that difficult. It's just a little tricky. What the false means is that the pop-up is not on the screen. Okay, so that means that the pop-up is not true. When the pop-up is not true, meaning that, okay, this is not true, pop-up true, right? Pop-up false. Okay, so pop-up true means I can see the video, the pop-up content. When it's false, I cannot see it. So when you think of it that way, when this variable is false, meaning the pop-up is not on the screen, false, it's going to be false. When the variable, when pop new record is equal to true, meaning that it's been selected right here in this state, then I want to get rid of that button. Now I can do this to any text right here, see true? So I can do this to any text, but it's important that you understand just kind of that's what we're doing there. It just makes it look a little nicer. So anyways, I could get rid of this. I could change this if I wanted to. I could do all kinds of things inside there. But right now, let's just keep it simple. We're going to get rid of that. So there's the code for that. Sometimes you got to play with the false and true where they're supposed to be, but this will get you started in the right direction. That's really it. The next section that we're going to go into is editing the data. Now, remember within the application itself, here we're adding new data to the record. So let's just do this real quick just so you can see that it actually works. So here we have just the one record in there. So let's go ahead and add a new record, and we're just going to call it new record. And I'm all fingers this morning. New record. All right. And then we're going to just add the content. And in this content, we're going to add Donald Duck. Okay. As the note. Okay. And then we're just going to click on add new. Okay. Once it hits add new, notice here that we have Donald Duck as the note. It's the first record because we're sorting by the latest record added. Do you see it right there? And then when we go over to here and we refresh this bad boy, we're going to go ahead and see that new record, Donald Duck, as a note. Pretty cool stuff, huh? So it does work as you're working with it. So the next thing that we're going to go over here in the book is how to edit the data inside of your gallery. So stay tuned and look at the other video. Thank you.